It is I, Emily Lowrey, coming to you live from the floor of my living room. I thought it'd be really good fun to show you 2 real-world weeks in the life of owning a Steam Deck and what it might add to your life if you're thinking about buying one. Day 1. No, seriously, this is day 1. First, I gave my Steam Deck a little bit of a photo shoot for some short-form content, which set the world alight. That evening I continued working through Spyro Remastered. It's one of my favourite games from my childhood, and I particularly like it docked because you don't really need audio with it to know what's going on, so you can watch TV and play and chill, and it's very fun. Irony of ironies, I have been using the Switch Pro Controller with my Steam Deck, and it's just silly. I know there's a Switch next to my Steam Deck, and I'm playing a game that's available on Switch with a Switch controller. But you know what? Who cares? The Steam Deck has so much more versatility, and I like that I can do everything in one device. Top tip, which I am going to go through in a future video, Spyro is one of those games that you can play completely offline, so it's perfect for travel when you need to put your devices in airplane mode. Next, we headed to Munich for a week for a holiday, and I played Slay the Spire on the plane because I am hopelessly addicted to that game. I'm about 100 hours in now, and I'm only on the 10th ascension. I'm not great at the game, clearly, but I do enjoy it. I think it's perfect for travel because you can play it offline. The battery is insane, like 8 hours or something. And because the sessions are sort of 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on if you die or not, the replayability can really make the time fly, pardon the pun, when you are on a plane. I was using my tiny case as a wrist rest on the plane as well, and that was really comfortable. So of an evening in the hotel, it was nice to play a few games before bed, but I didn't play too much because I was there on a holiday. I had a great trip, we had a lot of fun, and aside from one cheeky game in the square where I was really self-conscious and too afraid to properly film, it was time for the journey home. The Steam Deck is super comfortable to play when you're sitting on a train or a plane. Even though it is a little bit bigger than most handhelds, I do find it really ergonomic and not that heavy as well. In the airport lounge, I had the world's largest, brightest window to contend with, and I am endlessly grateful once again for the anti-glare screen on the 512GB version of the Steam Deck. Here is a comparison between my device and my husband's Nintendo Switch. Yes, he's playing Slay the Spire, I've totally converted him as well. But you could hardly see his screen in that environment, and mine was absolutely fine, and I had my back to the window as well. So I will always forever advocate for the anti-glare screen on the higher end Steam Deck model. Whilst waiting for the plane, I also had a cheeky 45 minutes or so of Hi-Fi Rush, which is a very fun game that you can also play offline, and you do get really good battery life for it. It's very, very well optimized for the Steam Deck. You do have to listen to the music, so you can either put your headphones in or annoy the people around you, which is what I chose to do. So then back home, back to the real world for a few days, and you'll be happy to know I am going to play some games that are actually worthy of the Steam Deck's processing power. When the weather is nice, I like to work outside in the garden, and I do scripting and bits and bobs. And the quick on and off feature of the Steam Deck is so handy. So if I need a break or just want a break, I can pick up my Steam Deck, play for a couple of minutes, pop it back in its little stasis mode, and then try and pretend that I'm actually working. I am so happy right now that the weather is improving in the UK and I can work outside more often. Having the Steam Deck there ready to rock when I want to procrastinate or check something if I'm script writing is super cool. Then I got a knock on the door, and it was the best, happiest interruption ever because my Sinden light guns arrived, and I love a light gun game. I'm going to do a full review on these products and I can't wait to use them more, but I spent the first day of owning them getting my light gun collections on Batacera on my Steam Deck and setting them up and just checking that everything worked as intended, and it did, and it's awesome. Also at home, I am working through Far Cry 5, which is definitely an at-home Steam Deck game because it's not very well optimized for the Steam Deck. The fan comes on quite a lot and it does drain your battery like wildfire. However, it is also one of my very favourite games, and I'm obsessed with it being able to be played handheld. I absolutely love Far Cry 5. I would recommend it to everyone. Not necessarily on the Steam Deck because it's not the most optimized, but it is such a great game. I think I've done like 700 hours on the Xbox with it, and I think I'm about 20 hours or so in the Steam Deck playthrough. I also like with Far Cry because it is sort of mini missions and sort of open world that it is very handy for sort of pick it up and chip away at it and then put it down. You can lose yourself for hours within the game, and I definitely have done, but on the whole you can sort of play it in sort of 15-20 minute chunks. I'm working on a good graphics, good battery life video for this channel, so subscribe for that. And the first one up is Detroit Become Human. Now this is one of my very favourite games from the PlayStation. I've completed it there, and just the idea of having this game handheld is just amazing to me. So I started playing that at home, doing battery tests, but soon I just got lost in the game and ended up genuinely playing it. And also, fun fact, it is another one that you can play offline. So for the next trip this week, which was to Amsterdam, that is what I decided to play on the plane. If you've ever played the game before, you rotate between 3 different viewpoint characters, and it is quite episodic, so each section is maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and then you can save the game and then you move on to the next chapter. So I think it works very well for travel if you do need to sort of play in smaller chunks when you're travelling. The battery life is really good. It took me completely by surprise, and it went straight through the plane journey and the airport journey absolutely fine. I did chip away at Detroit Become Human whilst on holiday in the hotel of an evening. I didn't play much during the day in Amsterdam because I was happy being a tourist. I'm on a boat in Amsterdam and I so wish I'd brought my Steam Deck. No I don't. No I don't. No I don't. Incidentally, I used the TomTok Steam Deck bag for this trip for the first time, you know, testing it in the real world for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. It's great to put all of your accessories in, but it doesn't scream, "Ah, I'm a tourist, rob me." I enjoy that bag very much, and I shall feature it in an accessories video, which I shall link somewhere. And then it was Detroit Become Human on the way home, and more gaming at home on the comfort of my couch. I love the Steam Deck because you can play out and about, you can play at home, you can play in the garden. It really does add a lot to my life, so definitely, if you're on the fence about getting one, just blooming get one. It's well worth it. Watch this video next where I go through some of my favourite accessories for the Steam Deck, and some of them are quite unconventional.